Alrighty, what's up, everybody? My name is Homm,
And I'm Nice.
and we are Jeantrix. Welcome back to Art Therapy with Jeantrix. And
Today we have a special guest, Seven Guy.
yes.
Big energy. Big energy.
So tell the people a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
My real name is Hashim Ahmad, which stands for Crusher, a destroyer of evil, worthy of praise. My artist name, formerly known as Seven God, which is a whole different when you ask me. But yeah, I'm a visual artist, creative entrepreneur, museum curator, community activist, and I say not activist but artivist in a sense. I do a little bit of everything. A lot of healing work with the community, a lot of different art therapy things, like a whole hell of a lot. That's a little bit about me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So where did you get the name Seven God from? Because I know a lot of people, when we call ourselves gods, they kind of frown upon that.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
Yeah.
So
So the God part didn't even come from me. The God part actually came from an ex, a woman I was dating, and at the time when I was going through a really bad time in my life, she told me that I'm no longer a king, I'm a god, and I was really afraid to embrace myself at that time. So I really had to sit with myself and embrace who I was, which was seven. Seven God actually was derived from my mental illness and an accident I had in about 2014. I came home from college, was in the hood with my friends shooting dice, and they slipped me something. When they slipped me something, it caused me to have a chemical imbalance and to be schizophrenic, bipolar.
Wow.
During that process, being a kid from the hood, my mom knew nothing about mental illness, and she knew nothing about how to deal with manic episodes. And that kind of started the journey of Seven God in a sense, but I didn't know. I had a really deep out-of-body experience, and I had a really, really deep spiritual awakening. And on that awakening, I kept seeing seven. I kept writing it. I was very afraid of it. I didn't know what it meant. My daughter was 7 years old at the time when I was in the hospital. I thought I was going to lose my life.
Wow.
I had to learn to walk again, talk again. I had kidney damage. Like, I had so much things that happened just from one hit of a blunt, in the hood with my friends. And that accident, like, it kind of like rebirthed something within me. But Seven God was born, and instead of me being afraid of seven, I took my fear, I embodied it, and I became my fear. So I didn't allow my fear to scare me. I finally did my research on it, numerology. Really, really big into numerology. I'm really big into spirituality. So I looked at seven. I started dissecting it, and when I studied it, it said that seven is the number of completion. It's the number of God. Right. It's the number that is spiritual, not religious. Seven knows that nothing
is as it seems, and reality is often hidden behind illusion.
So I took everything from that and I embodied it, and it made me who I am. So Seven God.
That's deep. Wow. That is deep. I got so many questions behind that.
Yeah, I really do. So, I don't even know where we're going.
So do you feel like you going through that? I mean, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that was like the rebirth of you, in a sense, like from a man to a quote unquote God?
Nah, I think that it was a necessary evil that allowed me to tap deeper into my higher self. It made me be more aware of my deeper artistic self. Okay. It brought out my superpowers. It's almost like, I was a regular guy who was, from the city of Wilmington, just doing things, being a creative. But that accident was kind of like the laboratory accident of a scientist that, went through an experiment and became out a superhero, and now he has an identity as Seven God, and he's saving the world and got a cape on. So, I think that, I learned to take what happened to me, and I can joke about it fluently, and I can speak about it in multiple ways, because I feel like that God has given me the ability to endure and overcome what happened to me, and to be able to speak about it and create about it. Art
is my therapy.
And I never wanted to be a visual artist. I went to school for business and marketing, and came home and did my own fashion line. And yeah, I can go to a whole story in this sense.
No,
but
actually speak on that. Like, so you went into, after this happened, and like you said, it's crazy how everything works out.
yeah,
And sometimes it takes those harsh moments to actually kind of find yourself somewhat. Yeah. So it's like it sucks that something like that happened.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you found yourself, and it's like almost like you got the last laugh, because it's like, look who I am now, and look, I discovered my potential and everything. Yeah. So sometimes it sucks, but it's like you said, you found yourself and everything like that. So go into the journey after that. So you started your own.
So I'll say the journey after dealing with the mental illness was still dealing with the mental illness. Just as backtracking a little bit, before I became Seven God, I still was battling having manic episodes, tatting my face, telling myself that I wasn't good enough, and going to the streets, fighting with my family, being homeless, having my kids taken away from me, losing my finances, being publicly humiliated, like, oh, he has been, he crazy. That's the boy who used to do art and fashion. Or that boy, he ain't, so that energy kind of like made me depressed, and I said to myself, maybe the good guy don't win. Maybe the bad guy run first. So I transmuted the energy that I used to have and started being devilish, and I almost self-destruct. But in the process, an angel came, which was my mom, and she nourished me, and she told me, no matter what happening, I believe that you're going to be a millionaire one day, and you're going to get back. I didn't believe I ever was going to be normal again, because I lost everything. Mm-hmm. But losing everything, I found my deeper self. Yeah. And I had to sit in my mom's basement for almost 2 years and watch the whole world pass me by. Now, before Seven God, Hashim was a fashion designer, a college graduate, big young influencer in my city, clothing line, traveling. Everybody knew me. To accident happened and everybody judging me. And in that dark place of my mom's basement, being depressed, Seven God did appear. The woman I was dealing with, she was like, man, you ain't no king. Man, you a god. They don't die. And when you asked me, like, about Seven God, like, I came up with seven, of course, but she put the God on the end. And the XX is a shot towards, and it's not a shot towards Islam, it's a shot towards when the 5%ers, they X'd out their last names, like Malcolm X, Brother Ben X, because they wanted to X out their slave last names. So me, it was almost Seven God XX. I don't have a last name. I am what I am. But the journey was definitely deep. I want to say about 2018 is when I started actually getting into like art and stuff. Okay. And that happened through a mental illness program. I walked into a space. They put me in a program and put me on a bunch of meds. I'd never been on meds before. Okay. Had a bunch of different crazy experiences, like suicidal thoughts and things of that nature. And the meds made me even more bloated and crazy. And I remember walking to this place and I'm seeing everybody being expressive. I didn't know how to re-engage myself in society. So I had to have a different outlet. The paintbrush found me. And when it found me, it saved my life. It became my therapy at first. Then it became my passion. Now it's my career. And this is year 5 for me. I'm just now creeping up on year 5 of being a full-time artist. So, yeah.
That was actually our next question. Like, when exactly did you decide to have this as a career? So when was that? When was that transition?
So going to the program and painting and things of that nature, I started to fall in love with it, because being a black kid from the hood and being a visual artist is taboo. If you ain't selling dope, or you ain't a basketball player, a football player, then anything else is like, oh, that's just a regular old boy. And because I had so much dreams and ambitions, or you weird, right? Yeah. Or misunderstood. Yeah. Or even called gay. Yeah. Right? Yeah. it's so many different stigmas that I had to battle with people of color that I didn't know how to talk about spirituality. How was I going to talk to people about not only having a mental illness, but then also seeing aliens, demons, and all kinds of weird shit? Like, they like, well, he's tripping.
They're not hearing that.
Right?
Yeah.
But the funny part is, I took that and put it in the artwork, and they still brought it. And it was a struggle. But in 2018, I teamed up with my cousin, Nataki Oliver, who is the owner of the Soul Firm. Okay. She became my art dealer. I said, cuz I really want to do this. She said, yo, I really think that you be good at it. You have a lot on your mind to talk about. I got you. I came out as 7 Guy in 2018, and she came into the game as the Soul Firm, which is a black, established, beautiful gallery in downtown Wilmington. And my first art show, what done it for me was, my sister is a famous model, Nadir Ali. Her and her husband, Said, came down from Atlanta, and they was blown away by my first show, and it was called 7 God is Here. Kind of like Virgil leaving in a sense. I'm like, nah, I arrived. Yeah. It was my introduction to myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you know that Jeantrix is here. Jeantrix was here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's one of those things. I get it.
Yeah,
I get
you stand,
it.
but like, I'm here.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the whole thing about being from the hood is being noticed. Because we in survival for so long, it's like, I do want the nice car and nice house, but I don't want it like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, my childhood friend came in. They kind of knew my story. By that time, I already put out to the public that I had an accident. Nobody knew about the mental illness, but I shared my story because I'm like, you know what? God didn't give me this to, hide.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
My mom said, do the Eminem effect. I said, what's that, Mom? You tell your story before they tell your story. You need to own your own narrative. Right. So you don't need no one to go around telling your version of what they think happened.
You can't expose somebody that don't got nothing to hide.
Exactly. So for me, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it. Now, I would never ever share all the details, right? But they get the picture in a sense.
Yeah.
But during that art show, my childhood friend walked in. He broke down. He cried. I had a print. It was about like 40 by 50. It was big as hell. And my sister's husband is a famous photographer in Atlanta. He said, y'all want that. And mind you, this is before the art show even started. My friend said, nah, I want it. They was like, well, let's bid for it then. They had a bidding war before my art show even started. It went from 300 to 400. He said 5. He said, I got money. 6. Yeah. He said, you ain't saying nothing. 7, 8. He said, 7. I got a stack right now. I'm cash apping you. He won the war. I sold $1,000 piece and never went to art school. Self-taught artist. My first exhibition out the gate, I made $5,000 less than 4 hours. My first art show. I said, I ain't never sold a shirt for a stack. I'm here.
Yeah, right.
I'm here. And from that
you
point,
had something to say.
From that point, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be at.
Yeah.
And then the journey began. And although it started then, I still had ups and downs. My next show, which was Sold Not For Sale, I lost my son. So not only now I'm back in it, I'm champion, I feel good. Here comes another test. And I didn't just lose him from he fell down and something happened to him. He was taken away through a brutal crime. Like this year, my family just got the article that he's been convicted. So I'm still dealing with not only my mental illness, not only the scrutiny of my community, but also losing a seed. I think that I done been through damn near every emotion trying to manifest my dreams, trying to create generational wealth, trying to change the narrative as a black man, trying to show up differently in my community. But yeah, my second show, my friend Aleem Smith, dope artist, yesterday night on Instagram, he live painted a portrait of my son as a gift to me. Wow. Broke me down, but to this day, even today, his birthday was February 1st. I had a moment that I cry a lot.
Yeah.
I'm one of them artists and I'm one of them men. I'm not afraid to be vulnerable. I'm not afraid to bare my soul, and honestly I have nothing to hide. Yeah. But it's important for my son to see men can cry. and that's not a sign of being weak or being a sign of having shame. Like I'll cry in front of you, tears and all. Like nah, that hurt.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and I'm glad you say that, because I always I was just thinking about that recently, how men, especially black men, it's not taught for us to express feelings like that.
Yeah.
Like it's like you have to be like super macho all the time. You have to be
super masculine.
Yeah. So it's good to hear that you speak about that, because that's so important to get those emotions out.
Yeah.
Like, because if you keep all that bottled in,
you'll break.
Yeah.
And I've been broken on many occasions, and I had to learn how to not project that on the world, but learn how to transmute that energy into positive energy to different mediums. I don't always want to paint.
Yeah.
I don't always want to talk.
Yeah.
During that process of becoming 7 guys to wear a mask, and that mask became my superhero power in a sense. When people see me with the mask, they say, "What? Yo, I love it. It's cool," because people like to be entertained. But I ain't entertaining you. This is
what you do.
I literally did not want to be in the world anymore. I said, but I still got to be present. How do I be present? I'm just gonna hide in plain sight. Where you been at? Exactly where you can find me. I've been right out front. So I literally will walk around with this African style black mask I painted, and I would wear it outside, and it would spook people. I'm like, I'm a black man with a 30 by 40 canvas, walk down the street, and you still scared?
Yeah.
I can't do nothing with that.
Yeah.
I can't do nothing with that. But that mask became a symbolic representation of infinite possibilities. It's on my chest. It's just on my chest.
That's really dope.
And I mean, it's my journey has just been really organic and fluent from. I mean, even doing therapy with the kids, like it's really organic. I couldn't tell you 10 years ago I was going to be sitting on y'all couch having this conversation. I remember watching y'all years ago and was always inspired to be here. This is big energy. This is a big moment for me.
And
that's how I carry it. That's how I carry it.
Yeah,
Seriously, like I really feel like as a creative, like us being able to give each other our roses is a big deal.
It's important.
Yeah.
It's very important, because you see, like you mentioned Virgil earlier. I see he gets a lot of his roses right now.
Yeah.
But he probably wasn't getting like that when he was here.
Right. No, it's never. And the crazy part is, like, you really got to be a special type of person to be able to really. Oh snap! I don't know what that was. I heard it was in my ear. You really got to be a special person to really like I think like a Jay-Z. But then again, I don't even know, like that whole flowers and receiving your roses now. It's so difficult, man, because people are amplified when they're not here no more. It's like, damn, when you go on, it's like it's more desirable. Right. It's we're so possessed by death, we don't appreciate life.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah.
That is so true. Like when you hear it, just like, oh, they around, they XYZ, but when you not, it's like, oh, they're not here anymore. Yeah, it's a bigger picture. But that's why I love your slogan and everything. Because
I knew you was about to ask that too. I knew he was getting there. That was I knew he was getting there.
Yeah. And that's why I love that, because it's so important. So talk a little more about that.
So
now that we hear your story, I kind of get it. I definitely get it.
But so to be honest, that was created during quarantine.
Okay.
Buy My Art Before I Die.
Yes.
The Buy My Art Before I Die campaign came during quarantine. I teamed up with a nonprofit, the same nonprofit that had my first exhibition that sold a $1,000 piece.
Okay.
I was working with her for years, like really, cultivating a great relationship and building. And the biggest thing in business, and that artists don't talk about a lot, is the business behind being able to sustain yourself and be able to make a living off your art and being able to have balance. It's creativity, but it's also monetizing off your creativity and knowing how to sustain yourself in that. So me always being a people person, knowing how to like really nurture a relationship. 2 years later, she allowed me to take her whole space over for a year. Wow. She gave me her space. And mind you, that's my passion. I want to bring art to communities that don't get it. I don't really care about the museums, but the museums are going to put me on a platform to make me look bigger than life. Right. And for some odd reason, respectfully, I hear people talk about, Black dollars matter, but it does, but our culture don't carry it like that. You know what I mean? And that's a whole different conversation. But getting back, my bad, because I'll go.
No,
she gave me the space. I painted the whole entire space. Quarantine hit, and it didn't really affect me, so I thought.
Okay.
And then it hit me. Still dealing with my own manic episodes, it triggered me. It didn't trigger me because I'm an entrepreneur. I do what I want every day. I wake up and have it my way. Yeah. It was the effects of business and how people were really picking and choosing how they was showing up because of the coronavirus. I'm like, yo, this is weird.
Yeah, it was a very weird time.
So I was like, you know what? I really talk about mental illness a lot, which, a disclaimer, although I talk about it, I don't really claim it. I only talk about it to engage in conversation, so have level of understanding. If I said there's a spiritual warfare, they're like, what you, boy, tripping. Because we are so programmed to hear a word and you get it in a conversation. Mm-hmm. So if I say, yeah, I'm dealing with, spiritual warfare, so I'm like, oh, he tripping, he bugging. It's just mental illness. Mm-hmm. But I chose to do the exhibition and a whole installation inside the space, and it was called The Seventh Dimension, Escaping into a Reality Beyond Mental Illness. And it was my first time building an installation about my out-of-body experience. I took the customers through my spirit and whipped all the way into different realms that I visited in my out-of-body experience. And the whole entire space was a poem. And people loved it. But it didn't get the love I wanted. And I felt empty. I'm like, yo, something don't feel right. Mm-hmm. So my friends walked in. They was like, yo, what's wrong? I'm my head down. I'm crying. My dream just came true. I got a community building in downtown. That's like having a YMCA building for free. Yeah. I got a downtown building, and I bombed the whole joint out. Yeah. And I'm in there sad. Like, what's wrong with you, boy? Like, you don't see what's going on? Wearable art selling and da-da-da-da. Like, something was missing. I'm like, dang, I worked this hard to get here. It's something missing. Mm-hmm. They said, yo, listen, Sheen, people ain't gonna get it until you did. It fucked with me. I'm like, I went home. I played my church music. I was listening to my favorite one when I get in my bag is Smokey Robinson, I Need You Now. I was painting a red canvas. I'm painting and I'm crying. Ragging on my foot. Now I'm a messy guy at times. I'm like, that something is talking to me. Mm-hmm. So I looked. I took red and white, stirred it up, and it made pink. I paused for a second. I prayed, and I meditated. I had 75 canvases stacked behind me on the wall. I took all of them and covered all my art in pink. Everything. I'm talking about all my art. I worked hard for like a year and a half to build an exhibition. I said, fuck the exhibition. They don't deserve to see it. I covered all of it, and in the midst of me covering it, I paused again. I said, what do you really want to say, Hashim? What do you really want to say? Yeah. Fuck it. Buy my art before I die. And that was the campaign. And I went to the space the next day, put it all up on the wall, put it in the windows, and the city went stupid. Then people was like, yo, wow, it's so... And the whole time, I'm like, it's crazy. You did not get this deep shit I was talking about. Right. It fucking went past you. Right. The moment I do some simple-ass pink bomb before I die, it's liberating. And literally, I told somebody it's genius because you're literally buying the work underneath of it. It's literally markings and textures underneath it. You can still see it. It was literally busting out of the canvas. I mean, before I died on top of it. I sold all the canvases. I put an email blast out. I started tagging downtown area. And I didn't want to go too crazy because I already had trouble with the law before, and I did not feel like dealing with that, tagging no walls. Right. It ended up getting so popular and so, what is he talking about? And it's crazy. Art is so wild how people's perception is. They like, is something wrong with you? You don't get it? Yeah. Right. Oh my God! They was losing me. Right. But I didn't get in trouble because I was putting it in the hood, and the hood was like, "Yo, boy." The museum ended up seeing it, and somebody who worked at staff was like, "Yo, I'm gonna opportunity, and I end up getting in the Delaware Contemporary Museum, and going back to like being smart about business. This happened organically. I didn't have no vision for it. It wasn't supposed to be no campaign. I just really spoke from the heart, from the soul.
Right.
So they's like, yo,
like that speaks for damn near every artist.
Yes.
Buy my art before I die. That speaks for every artist, because a lot of artists don't get recognized until they're gone.
Right.
So I feel like that just speaks. That's very universal for like artists, whether it's painters, musicians, whatever it is. I feel like it's very universal.
The people. It's been really hard grounding myself in it sometimes, because it's so much I deal with the campaign.
Right.
People saying, "Listen, your words have power. You're provoking death. Do you want?" I'm like, damn, am I provoking death? Like, I literally mess with myself in that statement all the time. But then
it's gonna happen.
Conversation like this that made me like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm just gonna rock out with it, like, you know. And the museum was like, come in there, do whatever you want. I didn't know what I was gonna do, so that's like, hold on, where am I at in my life right now? I am at peace. I am strong. I am healthy. I am practicing wellness. So I created the Buy My Before I Die affirmation room. And in school, they call that brand extension, being able to take a product and extend it in a sense. So the affirmation room is titled I Am, I Was, and it's a whole room that talks about my story from I was this, but I am this now.
Right.
So that's how the campaign is now started as like this raw campaign, and now it's becoming super spiritual, and it's growing. I'm dropping an affirmation book and affirmation card soon. Like it's so much I'm doing.
That's what's
like
up.
yeah.
People definitely need that right now.
Yeah.
And going back to your beginnings, like a lot of times when you have that early on success that they call quote unquote beginner's luck, that kind of shows you that you're supposed to be in this place. It's like God's showing you, like, all right, you need to be here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. That's kind of like, I know they mentioned that in the book, The Alchemist, about beginner's luck and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So do you feel like your struggles with mental illness has that inspired your art? So like, basically, do you feel like it was a hindrance to your art, or do you think that it helped your art?
I don't know. I think that when I was diagnosed, I didn't understand it until I'm a part of a really big spiritual community, right? And when I say spiritual, it just means to be aware. Right. And they study different religions, from Islam to Christianity to Judaism to Buddhism to Ifa. And I talk to my elders, and they don't even like me even speaking on mental illness because it's so false. Your mind can never be ill. Your brain can never be ill. Right. So I don't think that it helped or hurt me. I think that it just was a tool that I'm using to navigate conversations that are not normally spoke on. You don't really hear people talking about mental illness, and you damn sure don't hear a black man champion it, crying. I mean, I think the person that is the biggest in the industry that talk about it now is Kanye. And people are literally seeing him going through it, and they don't know how to take it. And he's being judged left, right, up, down, back, and forth for going through just real life. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
A lot of artists actually have like something mental that's different about them. You know what I mean? We don't think like the normal person. We don't perceive life like the normal person. So like going back to what you said about seeing aliens and stuff like that. Let's go into that a little bit.
You sure you want to go there?
Listen, I'm an Aquarius. I'm an Aquarius.
Okay,
I'm
a
all
Pisces.
about the aliens.
Okay, I'm a Pisces.
Okay.
I'll say that, not to get too crazy, because
I've had some experiences too.
I believe you.
We both said some things.
I'll say this: we are not the only thing in existence.
Right.
We live in an infinite plane of existence. There are creatures and beings that live beyond our touch, taste, smell, and thoughts. What I experienced, I'm still trying to navigate and understand.
Okay.
But I know that there are definitely things that don't look like me. But from my studies, a lot of them are really impressed by our nature as humans because of our emotions.
Right,
Some beings don't have emotions. They don't know how, because these beings that govern, from what I hear and from what I studied, these beings that somewhat govern and play games on this planet, in a sense, some don't have emotions. They're able to make really brutal decisions when it comes to energy. So like right now, you got like 5G towers, you got all this low vibration energy that affects your body, right? When you become awoke and conscious, you understand that, oh, I gotta like recharge myself. And how we charge is from the sun.
Right.
On top of that, how we charge is scientifically from the earth as well too.
Yeah.
When you now are coming awake universally, and you've been asleep for a long time, the person who was in control while you were asleep wants you to keep going to sleep. So he's gonna try anything to rock you. Right. But the question is, right? He's human. Or maybe he's a hybrid, like a blunt, right? Or like weed. Like you got natural weed and you got hybrids. Right. Maybe that, and I ain't gonna say no race or name. I'm just gonna talk in codes. If they catch it, they catch it. They don't, they don't. The hybrids that oftentimes are manipulated by other entities that want to keep dwelling and being fed off of our negative energy. When you raise the vibration of the planet, what happens is you kill death, you kill disease, you kill frustration, you kill all the different things of ego, and it no longer exists. But guess what? Other beings cannot exist in that frequency, therefore they die. So you're talking about nature, the survival of the fittest. So if we eat plants, if we eat animals, and that's our food source, have we ever asked the question, are we food source or something else?
Damn.
But yeah, that's some deep shit.
I think about that a lot. I definitely think about that a lot. And we've definitely had experiences. Like, I haven't seen beings before.
Yeah.
But I've seen lights and things like that. There's one story that we had. We went to a friend's show in New York, New York Fashion Week event. After the show, we're walking down the street with some of our other friends. And all of a sudden, we just see a light shooting down the street. Coming, like, it wasn't shooting at us, but it was like in the middle of the street.
Damn.
Just shooting down the street. And it passed us just a little bit, then shot up, straight up into the air.
That's crazy.
Within...
Nobody else saw it.
Nobody else saw it.
We were looking around at everybody like...
Yeah, you see that?
Y'all didn't see this?
Nobody's...
And it's New York. It's people out there.
It's a lot of people out there.
But think about it. If everybody is blind and they're just walking around in darkness, right? You know what my teacher told me the other day that if he fucked my head up, he said, "How you know you got eyes?" I said, "What you mean? I can see you. How you know what you're looking at is even a reality? Damn. Are you dreaming your reality, or is your reality a dream? How do you know you even awake?" I don't know why that felt so deep to me, but I'm like, and anybody who doesn't question things won't even understand this conversation.
Right.
And me being Seven God and me being myself, these kind of conversations happen when I'm building with people, but the world not ready for that. They can't even handle the coronavirus. Damn near some extraterrestrials, aliens. And the funny part is, the media is putting it on news, but it go right past people's heads. They're not ready for that.
They're not so distracted by the other stuff.
It's a rule. It's a rule in the universe.
And they only give us bits and pieces.
Like
when you watch the news and they say like, we just saw a spotting of a UFO. There's always some 90s ass VHS type of recording. It's like the cameras that y'all have right now.
Can't catch that.
Y'all can't give us better footage. It's always something, and it's always like, a spotting. We saw this. Y'all know everything that's going on.
They do.
It's way more. I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't want them coming for me. But it's more stuff that y'all know that y'all telling us. Y'all give us. I feel like y'all give us the same information every year. It's been a spotting of this, that. It's been a spot. Y'all know it's here.
I will say that they don't really care until it affects their money. They don't care about black people being spiritual or they don't give a fuck about none of that. They're going to keep feeding poison because you can be spiritual all you want and still feed the system that you claim that you don't like.
Yeah.
We complain about everything, but we still shop till we drop. Right. We still eat the food. Like it's crazy. But there is a saying in a universe that my teacher always says, never disturb a being's sleep. And what that means is, like, because we're not prepared as a species to be revealed those type of things, that's a shock value.
They can't just tell us that. People will go fucking
No, not
crazy.
that. I'm just saying, like, no different than, like, let's say it's like Star Wars. There are rules that govern the universe. You can't cross certain barriers. Like, certain beings can't breathe our air. They can't survive. They have to. And the funny thing is, they only can come through this existence through a womb, right? The black woman. So when she's having trouble having babies and she getting things put in her, hybrids again, now you are birthing damn near a fucking alien. If you think about it in a sense, like, yeah, it's deep, but yeah. We can go down rabbit hole this conversation. I'm telling you.
Listen, this is what we all about. We have these kind of conversations
all the time. That's funny.
All the time.
That's
bro.
Deep.
But like, so, damn, that was deep.
Yeah.
So what inspires your creative process? Like, does like these type of thoughts and things like that?
I'm inspired by abundance. I'm inspired by everything. And when I say abundance, like, it's not nothing that doesn't inspire me. From being quiet and hearing the water run and seeing how the color blue runs, that might inspire a whole body of work. Being able to witness two beautiful men with dreads and y'all sit in a different position might inspire a whole fucking collection, right? Like, this might be your dreads might be a whole headpiece or a mask. Like, I'm literally inspired by everything because I am a soul in a vessel having a human experience that I'm literally touching, playing with everything. Like, it's nothing's off the table. What I'm passionate about spirituality. I'm passionate about God. I'm passionate about the narratives of my community. I'm passionate about really, like, changing the world through art and it being able to drive the universe into a different paradigm. My man Tupac said, I may not be able to, change the world, but I will spark the mind. But Seven God, whoever the fuck Seven God is, he said, I may not be able to change the world, but I will inspire the paintbrush that would change the stroke of reality. And that's a drop for your motherfucking ass too. Big energy.
So, all right, so that is dope. So just to pick your brain and see what inspires you and what motivates you. Now, what happens in those moments when you're not inspired? Like, when you're not inspired, say you're not inspired, you might have a deadline, you might have to get shit done, and it's just nothing is sparking.
So I learned how to meditate. I learned how to honor my rest. Just because I'm a creative, I'm not going to be a slave to creativity. That means that even in my rest, I'm still creating. Because the things I created years ago, people are still eating off of it because it's substance. I'm a substance kind of guy. Yeah. Even if I do a stroke, an eye, whatever, it has some really deep symbolism. I'm not an artist who just can go in and just paint just because. It's really grounded in something. Yeah. Substance. So if I decide to do a body of work for a year and then go into hiding for 10 years, I'll be okay because I know that what I put out is way beyond this place. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I feel like that some artists, they lose that because we live in a society now where everything is microwave and it's so fast that we lost touch with being able to allow art to nourish your soul. I'm making soul food, so this ain't quick over here. Yeah, you know what I mean? So when I'm not inspired, I'm just honoring my rest and being able to enjoy the fruits of my labors, chilling with my kids, being able to be a full-time dad, and having fun without restrictions of financials, having fun without worrying about, I can't see my kid, I gotta work. I make my own schedule. I do what I want, you know? But don't get me wrong, there is sacrifices in that they may not get now, but when they get older, they're gonna appreciate it.
Yeah.
You know, they're gonna appreciate it, you know?
It's definitely sacrifices in being any type of creative. Physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot
and spiritually.
Spiritually, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's speak on meditation just for a second, because I know a lot of people are getting more into it nowadays.
Yes.
And I feel like they should, especially with the world being the way that it is.
Absolutely.
How has it helped you stay grounded? And I know you also like you like to teach that to the youth as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
And I'll take my hat off for that one.
Okay.
Meditation has allowed me to control my reality. It has allowed me to control my inner matrix.
Okay.
Being able to slow the reality down and control things through my breath and through my being. So naturally, I taught the youth that I deal with meditation because they deal with their own trauma. And one thing they never think to do is to pause.
Right.
Before you go kill that dude and blow his head off,
Right.
just breathe and pause first. Think it through. Before you go do something that you ain't really, you don't really want to do, you're going to regret, just pause.
Right.
You know, I think that meditating, it brought me personally closer to my inner self, my inner child, my higher self. Like I'm able to have these conversations without any restrictions and boundaries. It's me talking to me. You know, and it's actually it's a part of my when I wake up, I have 7 steps that I do when I wake up, and after that, whatever happens after my 7 steps is life taking its own course.
Okay.
So I have a routine that I do with myself and my kids in my business, and I said after these 7 steps, if the universe allows me to get anything done in that day, it's a gift. Yeah. The blessing was me waking up. The gift is the things that come after me giving myself discipline in my practices of being focused and staying balanced and centered.
Nice.
Yep. And it's not easy. So I ain't no master. Yeah. I ain't got it all figured out. I talk very well about it, but I still deal with my own shit.
Yeah. Right.
So
yeah, definitely. Meditation is definitely something that everybody can benefit from.
Absolutely.
Especially as a creative. You know, because we have so many different ideas. A lot of times we have ADD.
Yeah.
We can't really focus on certain things. A lot of tabs open, definitely. So it helps to focus. It helps to stay grounded. It helps us stay creative.
Yeah.
And it definitely helps us to create our own reality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like once you tap into that inner self, you can influence the world around you.
Yeah.
Low-key, without going too deep into it.
Yeah.
So where are we at now?
Let's talk about the youth. The stuff he does.
Yeah. So that's actually a great point right there. So let's talk a little more about what you do with the youth and how you go about teaching them meditation, because I know it's different teaching the youth about meditation, because some of them might have heard of it, but it's probably like hard to take in by them.
So I want to say,
get them to understand that.
I want to say about 2 years ago, I was offered the opportunity to volunteer at a couple community centers, and they asked me to, paint with the kids. And I said, if I volunteer, right, because of my time and I'm not getting paid, I got to be able to control the narrative in here. They gave me free range, and it allowed me to practice. So I learned the applesauce trick of being able to teach them. I don't teach art. I teach them how to have a tool as art to tap into their self. I can't teach nobody how to paint.
Yeah.
I can't teach you I cannot teach you how to be you.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah. So what I do is I have these classes that go through color therapy, go through 7 different steps that engage their souls to engage with their self, right?
Okay.
Being one. And meditation is a step within them 7 steps. And how I do it is basically when I go in, I really fill the room, learn the kids, but I just start pouring into them. Okay. And they receive it because it's new and it's fun. And the trick is, the applesauce trick is, the art is distracting them from substance. See, when we get taught, it's boring, it's linear, it's not fluent. Like me, I'm big energy and I'm excited and I'm colorful. I got a personality. So they receive it differently. Like the way that I teach as a teacher, being able to give my students a different kind of meal, soul food, and say, this is the greens. Well, why we get greens? Because greens help you. Like, I break it all down to them, you know? Okay. So, yeah, like, meditation is, like, one aspect. But the whole entire 7 steps is, like, it goes from, like, self-portrait, which is self-love. After self-love, it goes into color therapy, which is starting with red, then putting a song on, then stopping it, then switching and swapping canvases, learning unification, like unity. Yeah. If I go to an all-girls school and they are trying to team build, I'm going to make them switch canvases. Oh, my gosh, you're going to paint on my stuff. But not knowing that you have to learn how to let things go. And that's universal. Trauma, right? And these little tricks, they seeds. Yeah. They becoming seeds in these classes, and it's like, oh, wow, I didn't even know I was learning that through the medium of art. And then before we start, we pray. Real deep prayer. And in the middle of, I want to say step 5, I meditate and I pause. After meditation, it's quiet time. That's step 6. Like, shh, listen to yourself. What's self saying? Last is affirmation. I allow them to take their art and with the color purple, write affirmation. And sometimes I get crafty and give the other person who don't like you your picture to make them have affirmations. I did Servium Girl Academy, which is a all-girl school. And it was beautiful seeing a black man pour energy into queen saying, I am a queen. I am divine. And my business partner and my best friend, Shakira, she was recording and doing the content that day, and she broke down and cried because she never seen that done. And she said, from her perspective, what really got her was when I told the girls to swap canvases, and the one girl who were like fighting in a sense or like debating the whole entire time, they wrote I am worthy on the opposite canvas, and it blew Shakira's mind. She was like, whoa. You know, so like being able to have these little things like that influence them, it changes their whole, like, I got all the schools saying big energy, yay, like, you know what I mean? So it's fun, man. It's fun. But yeah, yep. That's dope. And it happened literally. It wasn't planned. It's organically to its own course. The program that I have is a hot ticket because no one is teaching art therapy, spirituality, mental illness, and skills in these schools. So I'm teaching all these different things through this one medium of art. Right. And that is only one part of the program. I got photography, music, creative writing. I mean, one day I will be opening like my own art school in a sense, but
that's dope. That is really dope. Yeah. And I know we've been talking for a while, but so we have just a few more questions for you. So you mentioned affirmations. Yeah. So do you have any affirmations or manifestation type tools that artists can benefit from?
I would say the first thing before even getting into affirmations is I would tell anyone to challenge themselves. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, who am I? Or who am I creating myself to be? And then when you have a sense and awareness of that, I would say that I would start really talking to myself about what am I battling with? Is it I'm not confident enough? And see, you only know you, right? So I do 100 affirmations a day. Sheesh. So when I wake up in the morning, I do 50. I break it up into 50s and 25s. And what happens is these affirmations are written down in a notebook. And these are affirmations that I accumulated over the years. And I say them to myself in the mirror or while I'm drinking my tea. And it strengthens myself. It's like, as a creative, what tools do you use to work out your creativity? I mean, people that play basketball go to the gym. and shoot hoops.
Right.
But how do we work on our skills?
Right.
You know, how do we strengthen our our brushes or our whatever. So I would say to anybody who wants to get into affirmations, before even getting to I am this, I am that, you gotta believe it first. It don't work if you don't believe it.
Exactly.
It don't work if you're just saying random things. I am love. Okay, but you don't know what love is. You know what I mean? So like, yep. So I would definitely say like, just start digging and being honest with self. Yeah. That's the biggest challenge, is being honest with you. So yep.
Can you give us like 7 affirmations
that I do for myself or
this?
I got you. So I am who I say I am. I am who I say I am. I am who I say I am. I am protected. I am guided. I am love. I am abundance. I am energy. I am guided by the universe, by my ancestors, and by people who love me. I will prosper. I will win. I am what I say I am. I am.
That's it right there. That's it right there. That's it right there. I like, man.
I feel like we could end it right there.
But wait. We got a little bit more, though. Okay. We got a little game that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
You mentioned the game, so let's play this game.
So this here is cards. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of cards they are, but I'm just gonna tell you, pick one. Don't flip it over yet. Just pick one from the top.
All right.
And then you pick one from the top. Ugh. On a count of 3, I want you to flip your card over. 1, 2, 3, go. How random is that? Magic. The energy's still there.
I am love.
Woo!
I may not have always made the right choices, but I did my best. I have so much love to give, and everyone around me can feel it. I am given a clean slate every single day to be the best version of me that I can be. I am forgiven. I am loved. Wow.
That's deep.
That's
wow.
Deep. That is deep.
Mine is I am receptive.
Ooh.
I am open to new ideas. I am willing to try different methods, and I consider alternate viewpoints. I welcome intellectual stimulation. I am receptive.
This is
heavy.
Yeah.
This is like right on time too.
Yeah, that's heavy.
These cards are so
they are.
These affirmation cards.
Hell yeah.
It's so relevant.
Yeah, yep. I'm excited. I can't wait to drop my affirmation cards and affirmation book. It's gonna be heavy.
So when is that drop? Talk about what you got coming up next.
Yeah.
Right now, me and my business partner, we just got done doing our opening at the Delaware Contemporary Museum. We curated.
Congrats on that.
Yeah, yep. Thank you. We curated 19 artists. The exhibition is called The Unpublished Niggas. So for next 3 months, we'll be doing private tours, artist conversation. We have a crazy fashion presentation that I hope y'all will be a part of. After that, I'm probably going to do the Buy Mark Before I Die affirmation pull-up tour, where I'm just really going city to city and pulling up on people. And of course, I also have the Buy Mark Before I Die affirmation cards and affirmation book, as well as at the end of the summer, I shot a film about a year ago for the Buy Mark Before I Die film, short documentary film that will be getting released at a Black Film Festival.
Okay.
So
cool.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
Yep. So
where can they see your work at?
Right now, just right now on Instagram at 7GodXX. I'm not that hard to find, but I am kind of a mystery in a sense. My website will be up soon. It's under construction. Definitely can send me an email at 7godxxart@gmail.com. But as of right now, anybody who wants to see what I do, Facebook fan page is 7godxx. Instagram is 7godxx. So yeah, and I mean I have a lot of things coming up. That's like a smidge of what I have going on, but I mean
you can't give them everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been an honor to have you.
Yes, it has been. Thank you.
Vice versa.
Thank you.
Vice versa.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. I feel like you spoke to our souls.
Yeah, you did, and I feel like people that's watching going to take a lot from this.
I hope they do.
A lot from it.
So I do want to challenge you. I want to challenge your viewers and listeners. If anything that we spoke about today spoke to you, I want you to DM Jeantrix and tell him how it felt. DM me, ask us questions. The more that we get engagement on these things that y'all are doing, it only helps strengthen what y'all are doing. So, and I want to hear people's comments, good and bad, and then also critiques. You can let let me know. Let me know if I fucked up or not. Tell me.
It opens the floor up to all of the conversations, everything that we just spoke about.
Absolutely.
And I believe this was our season finale, right?
Yeah.
This is our season finale episode. So it's an honor to have you on the last episode of the season.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And just you guys make sure you tune in to the next season. Tune into everything that we got going on. Comment, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Y'all know what to do. Leave a comment in the comment section below. And until next time, we will see y'all.
Big energy. Ashe.